All right, let's see the messages that Spirit has for you this week. One first message I got was the spotlight, right? And it's the way the light's casting that, I don't know, that shadow or whatever. I can see it right there on my ceiling. And right away as I put my ring light on, it was just so bright. And so what I'm getting is, for some of you, expect to be in a spotlight this week. Like, you're going to have attention on you, but I'm getting in a good way, right? So it's like you're this rising star, you're shining, you're attracting a lot of likes. So some of you may be getting a lot of likes on posts that you're doing. You're attracting a lot of attention, but in a good way, and that you're inspiring people. So that's for some of you. So in the spotlight, expect the light to be shining on you brightly. Maybe there's something happening with you where you're glowing up, right? And your aura, your energy is changing, and people are going to notice that. You're going to be like this beam of light and just this magnet for attracting people, right? A lot of attention and a lot of good things. So that's an awesome way to start this reading. Something else I was getting to before I started is pay attention to your dreams, because they called my attention to this deck, which is our Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards, right? And they wanted me to use this deck. And right away, they told me animals. I heard animals. This one's by Kyle Gray. And pay attention to the animals that you see, the animals that come in your dreams, because they're going to bring certain messages, right? So then, you know, if you see an animal, you keep seeing it over and over, just Google it, right? Look it up, see what the meaning is. But that's going to be very important to some of you this week. So first message is spotlight. The spotlight's on you, and pay attention to your dreams and the animals that come to you. All right. Some of you may have to be standing your ground, right? Because I see stand your ground at the bottom of the deck, in terms of really sticking up for yourself and not backing down and sticking to your guns, I hear. And, you know, fighting for what you believe in and for what you really want, right? Don't cave to anybody else. Do what speaks to you, especially from the heart. That's what I'm hearing. All right. So let's give it a shuffle and see what we get. Ooh, funny. It said, do what speaks to you from the heart. And I get Heart Guardian. Love and yet let yourself be loved. But the thing is, it came out in the reverse. So we're going to have to find out why. So some of you may have like a heart chakra that's blocked. Some of you may be ending relationships, just as I was saying, standing your ground, where the love isn't there anymore, right? So would that be a relationship? Would that be a job? You know, some sort of project? Something that you've lost passion for, that some of you maybe... I hear Jackal whining. Yeah, so pay attention to your pets this week too, that you may be moving away from. But let's see what else we get. All right, so Wise One. All right, so I'll show you that one. It says, grow within your current situation. So use wisdom, right? Because they're calling my attention to the owl. So some of you may be seeing owls, some of you may be seeing crows, right? Pay attention to that, you know. Those are always messengers. But then look here, you have this message, another card that says warrior. Be fearless and stand strong. Remember, we had that energy before about standing your ground. One of them fell on the ground, so let me grab it. Okay. Ooh, shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Interesting. Now, this can be a good card sometimes in terms of being like a chameleon, you know, where you kind of have to flex depending on the circumstances that you're in, right? But you also want to always make sure that you're maintaining your core identity. Some of you may be seeing wolves. Some of you may also be seeing a hawk, or you may be seeing an eagle, or you may be even seeing snakes. All right, now, they're going to put me through my paces to see what I'm getting from this combination. All right, let's clarify. Tell me about Heart Guardian reversed. Why is Heart Guardian reversed here? Okay, so we have Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Okay, so right away I'm hearing that for some of you who may be coming out of a situation, right, that could be a relationship that's ending. One of the advice that Spirit has is, rather than going and jumping into something right away, this is a time that you need to take time to reflect, right? So some of you may not be doing that because it came out in the reverse. You know, take the time to kind of get a sense of like what happened, what went wrong, you know, for yourself to integrate the lessons that you are going to learn, or that you've learned from that situation. Some of you may be needing to do some deeper work, right, in terms of shadow work, or just further digging into emotions that you may be repressing, that may be blocked, because here it came out reversed, right, in terms of Mirror Guardian. Tell me about Wise One, and then I'll clarify with regular tarot cards too. Ooh, so some of you are going through massive transformation. So you have Snake, shed old skin. So I'm getting that a lot of you are listening to your higher self, right? Tapping into your intuition, tapping into wisdom, and allowing a situation to transform, right? And so you're going through massive changes, hence makes sense with this shapeshifter. Let's clarify. Tell me about shapeshifter. Why is shapeshifter here? Oh, so some of you are discovering your passion. Remember I said about that spotlight being on you? Fire guardian, ignite your passions. All right. I see where we're going. So for some of you, you may not be feeling as confident, right? Maybe you want to make a certain move. You're moving out of a situation that's no longer in alignment with you. And what Spirit is saying is sometimes you just have to try on a certain persona. So even if you feel like, God, I'm not ready, I'm not confident yet, I don't have this yet, or I don't have that yet. Spirit is saying sometimes we just have to shift. We just have to shape shift, right? And play with our aura, right? Play with different personalities. Not in terms of being fake, because you already know who your core person, your identity is, right? But in terms of taking on a certain confidence when you want to go and pursue something else, right? But you may feel like, or you're doubting, your mind's getting the better of you in terms of, am I ready to do this? But some of you are going to feel very passionate and very fired up this week or coming up in terms of taking on something else, doing something else, trying something else. But let's clarify and then see if we get any more specifics. All right, so let's use this little deck, or Gilded Tarot deck, and see what else we get. So tell me more about Heart Guardian reversed with the Mirror Guardian reversed. Tell me more, Spirit. Ooh, 10 of Cups. All right, 10 of Cups is beautiful energy, because that's like, happy family, right? Wish fulfillment, everything coming true, right? The picket fences, the children, all the things that would make you feel whole and happy in a family setting. And that's kind of what I'm getting, that some of you are going to find yourselves moving away from things that aren't the embodiment of this, right? Of this energy, right? Using wisdom. And that's probably why that heart chakra is reversed. So if there isn't love in a situation, some of you are going to find yourself closing out a cycle. It might take time, but that's what I'm getting. Whether it be a relationship, or whether it be a job or a project, or partnerships. Tell me about Wise One. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles. But look what awaits you, right? When you tap into this intuition, tap into this wisdom. I mean, this is long-term success. This is commitment. This is money. This is longevity, right? So as you discover more about yourself and release the things that no longer serve you, right? With shedding this old skin, right, snake, it's not easy. You're going to be rewarded with a lot of long-term abundance, right? This isn't just going to be a temporary thing. All right, and then let's clarify Shapeshifter. Tell me about Shapeshifter. Why did the card have to fly all the way over there? Putting in the work. 8 of Pentacles. Just a minute, because it flew all the way over there. Let me see if I can get it. I may have to. Ooh. All right. So you have High Priestess, but I don't know if it wanted to come upright or if it wanted to be in the reverse. You know what? Let me put it back in and shuffle. Again, listen to your intuition. Ooh, 4 of Swords. All right. Oh, see, this is why I clarify, because I'm getting more messages. So what I'm getting is some of you may be in this energy, right, of putting on airs, pretending to be something that you're not, instead of going by what you feel in your heart, right? In terms of what you're truly passionate about, as opposed to behaving in a way that you've been conditioned, or you've been trained to show up, or your mind's telling you to show up. Because here you have the 4 of Swords. And this is where Spirit is saying this is the time to surrender that. This is the time to put that type of behavior to bed, right? And to assume a different sort of way of doing things, which is going by what fuels you in terms of your passion, what makes you excited, right? Let's see, one more. Oh my goodness, look at that. I can't make it up. Ace of Wands, perfect way to end the reading. So what Spirit is saying is go after your passion. Do what makes you feel passionate. I mean, it sounds redundant, but that's really and truly what this is, because beautiful, new, exciting things are awaiting. But what you got to do is you got to come out, I'm hearing, of this mechanical, rote way of doing things, or thinking you need to show up in a certain way. Like you need to be rehearsed, you need to be practiced, you need to be polished, I'm hearing. And instead, it's like Spirit saying, go after that more primal, use that more primal, I hear primitive, part of yourselves as you go after, or channel the things, or channel that energy in terms of what fuels up your passion. Anywho, this was a long one. Meandering maybe, but I hope it was helpful. Look, step into your power, Emperor. Claim your power, Emperor. Take charge of the situation. There you are. You're an Emperor. All right, that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.